on MOB for that nigga Lusty. Pop pills, I'm moving fast, and all you smell is that kush breeze. We ride past 9 bullets flying, paralyzed nigga, make him feel me. Kill my little bro, man, yeah, y'all niggas one up.
Fuck one war with us, send a couple shots, they scared. I remember they was riding through Front Street, looking for Keef, little hair. When I pull up, the niggas used to run, I swear that shit was hilarious. They come back through, pop, 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 miss every shot, that's embarrassing. I stay on my blick like I'm married.
While you saying I broke in your house, I never did a burglary. What the fuck is wrong with you? I never stole no clothes, no baby clothes, none of that. Never stole your chain. You know, Boss T snatched your chain off your neck, little bitch.
Got the mo wet, over here wet, bitch. So Chief Keef got the blunt in his hand. Know what I'm saying? My nigga number 2. In the day. Well, I was saying crazy, man. You see the cup? Man, we in this. You see your boy J Rock doing it big, man. Period, though, man. But look, you gotta get at us like that.
We STLK. Everything gonna be everything, man. We STLK, man.
We don't fuck with them clowns.
Keep the world crazy, man. Motherfuckers better stop playing and get with this shit. Or we get lost, though, man.
GDK.
We gonna let y'all know we the real 064, man. We started this 064.
Hold on, you better watch your fucking mouth, boy. Big, though. Had to get it in. Hey, folks, you know. Oh, you got to turn out and delete this shit. You say my name's good. You better say some EBTK or some shit. I'll finish.
What's up, bro? Ah, he got buffers. He be in your gym downstairs or something, shorty?
Hell no. You ain't smoking, Reggie. Bro, I made a pack in 2008 with Move 600 and Ty Lee. You know, our pack was, we was never gonna smoke Reggie again. On the dead guys, it was murder. We ain't smoked Reggie ever since 2008. Literally, it's on the dead homies, so can't lie on your dead homies. Me, Ty Lee, and Moo from 600. So who is this?
It was supposed to be a homecoming of a sort. The year was 2015. An image flickered to life on a stage in Hammond, Indiana, just across the state line from Chicago. It was Chief Keef, or rather, a digital projection of him, a hologram. He was a ghost in the machine, beamed in from a safe distance in Beverly Hills. For one brief moment, he was back, performing for his people in the region that made him. Then, just as quickly as it appeared, the image vanished. The police had arrived and ordered the venue to shut it down, citing a fear of violence and the fact that Keef had outstanding warrants. The ghost was exorcised. The concert, a benefit for a toddler killed in the crossfire of Chicago's violence, lasted less than a song. The message from the authorities was clear. Not even a digital version of Chief Keef was welcome here.
Stop the violence, stop the killing, stop the nonsense. Let the kids go up. Now, Chicago, you ready for a show? Let's go.
This strange, almost surreal event captures the heart of a story that is now over a decade old, and the city that simultaneously celebrated him and condemned him. He was the voice of a generation, the pioneer of a new, raw sound called drill music that would take over the world. Yet, he was also branded a menace, a public enemy, a symbol of everything the city's leadership wanted to control. The hologram shutdown wasn't the beginning of the story, but it was a powerful, symbolic chapter in the middle of it. It raised a question that many fans had been asking for years, a question that still echoes in the streets and on the internet today. The image of a young black artist being silenced, even in his spectral, holographic form, tells you everything you need to know about the pressure he was under. It was not just about music anymore. It had become a battle of control, a clash between a powerful city government and a teenager who had become too influential for their comfort. Chief Keef, born Keith Cozart, had become more than a rapper. He was a symbol, and symbols are powerful. They can inspire, but they can also be targeted. As of today, January 11th, 2026, it has been more than a decade since Chief Keef has been able to call Chicago his home. Think about that for a moment. an artist whose entire identity was forged in the crucible of the city's South Side, whose lyrics were a direct transcript of its struggles, its triumphs, has been living in exile for his entire adult life. He went from being Sosa from the O to a resident of Los Angeles, a world away in culture, a world away in climate, a world away in geography. For a new generation of fans, Chief Keef has always been a California figure, a man living in mansions, palm trees, luxury cars. They know the music, but they may not know the origin story, or the real reason for the profound separation between the artist and his hometown. The core question then is not just why did he leave? Why has he never come back? The answer is not simple, shrouded in documented facts, street rumors, and personal choices. For Chief Keef, that moment arguably arrived in 2013. The story is now a legend in the lore of Chicago drill music, a modern parable about the fragility of loyalty when fame and money enter the picture. Members of his own crew, the Black Disciples faction from the O-Block housing project he had made famous worldwide, reportedly broke into his home in a quiet, upscale Chicago suburb. This was not a random act of violence. It was a personal and deeply symbolic betrayal that cut to the very core of his identity and his sense of safety. The details of the burglary have been debated and mythologized over the years, but the central elements remain consistent. The thieves were not strangers.
Now look, the only thing folks took was folks' change, you know what I'm saying?
My money.
And the only reason folks took folks' change, because the nigga lied to say he gonna get some money from my homie Bond, right? Like say we call him nigga, and we asked him for some money and shit, and he said he gonna give it to him, right? So we say our homie booked the shit, his bond 25,000, we got 18,000, we need 75 more hundred, right? So the nigga said, oh yeah, that's all y'all need, ooh. I just spent that shit on shoes, ooh. We, right. Why you say it like that though? Now we call him again like a week later or something. Like, damn, what's up with that money, gang? Like, whoa, you know, we trying to get folks out.
Vaughn.
Yeah, how much I need? We need 7,500 and shit, ooh. Now this is a minute ago, you know. So now you get that, folks get that. What do you say? Yeah, 7,500, I just do that shit in the club and shit, ooh. So motherfuckers see folks, motherfucker take folks' chain off his neck and shit, motherfucker take folks' shit to go get the bomb money. Like motherfucker, I don't know where the clothes and all that other shit came from. Like, you know, that's just how people like with clout and shit try to make other people seem bogus and shit or whatever.
What?
But it's really over some real shit and nigga be out like a real hoe. You see what I'm saying?
Talking about Breezo switching just like Chief. Get your dumb ass out of here. Do you know what niggas did to Chief Keef?
You supposed to switch when you get level up. You're supposed to stay the same level.
But he ain't even really switch up. Niggas did him dirty. He took care of niggas. Niggas hit his crib and took everything from him. Fuck is you talking about? So I respect Chief Keef. Fuck is you talking about? That nigga was still in the hood, still around, giving money, clothes, everything, and niggas still spit in his face. What are you talking about? It was crazy.
They were people from his own neighborhood, people who had appeared in his music videos and shared in his rise. The most talked about detail, repeated in countless articles and forum posts, was what they stole. Alongside expensive jewelry, including his iconic chains, they allegedly took diapers and baby formula. This detail, whether entirely factual or not, added a layer of profound disrespect to the crime. It suggested a level of desperation and a complete breakdown of the street code that supposedly governed their world. The theft of Chief Keef's chains was more than just a loss of property. It was a deeply symbolic act that exposed the raw nerves of his world. In the culture of hip-hop, and especially within drill, a chain is a crown, a medal of honor, a public declaration of status and success. For Chief Keef, his chains were tangible proof that a kid from one of Chicago's most dangerous neighborhoods could become a global star. They were symbols of power, respect, the collective triumph of his crew, GBE. When those chains were taken by Bosstop, a fellow O-Block native and GBE affiliate, it was a public stripping of that honor. The act was audacious and disrespectful. Bosstop allegedly bragged about the theft on social media, taunting Keef with pictures of his son's stolen baby supplies. It communicated that the old hierarchies no longer applied, and that Keef's status as the provider and leader was being challenged from within.
Would say fuck OD, but that's my boy. You feel me? I'm from there. You know? But, whole block. Okay.
Boys, man.
Man, it's the kid, man. You know, man, how I'm rocking and rolling, man. You know, man, I feel like young.
Bosstop, you got dropped by Sosa. T-Boy Sosa used to be your daddy.
We bad as hell, man. Fuck, nigga.
How you gonna talk to your pops like that, boy?
They got me in this song, steady wearing this musty, dirty ass Burberry shirt. Sosa gave you all them clothes and shit for you to wear, glowed you up, and this how you do, little folks. You gonna do little folks like this? He gave them clothes. Broke ass rapper, man. Motherfucker gonna buy your little dirty ass 7 more of them shirts. We gonna buy your little dirty ass 7 more of them Burberry shirts so you can wear them motherfucker every day, you little filthy bitch. Little musty shirt.
The incident effectively drew a line in the sand, forcing everyone in their circle to choose a side. The unity of GBE, which had been a formidable force, was fractured. This betrayal created an impossible situation. Street code often demands retaliation for such a flagrant sign of disrespect. However, retaliating against people from your own block is messy and dangerous. And for Keef, already under intense scrutiny, any move would be magnified and used against him. As drill exploded in 2012, it became a focal point for public anxiety about Chicago's escalating murder rate. City officials, led by then Mayor Rahm Emanuel, were under immense pressure to do something about the violence. Instead of solely focusing on complex roots, poverty, segregation, lack of opportunity, they found a convenient scapegoat in the music that documented it. Chief Keef became their poster child for moral decay. The Chicago Police Department and prosecutors began to view him not as a teenage artist, but as a gang leader, a public menace. They linked his music and videos directly to street violence, arguing his lyrics incited conflict. This narrative was amplified by media, connecting him to every incident in his orbit. His concerts were shut down. Promoters were warned hosting him would bring trouble. He was effectively blacklisted in his own city. Minor probation violations became front-page news. As he famously said, "The police don't want to see a young black man getting money." This campaign was relentless. Mayor Emanuel's office publicly called him an unacceptable role model whose music promotes violence. When a mayor denounces a 17-year-old, it signals every part of the city's infrastructure. This person is a problem to be contained. Chicago became openly hostile, a place where powers actively worked to ensure his failure or incarceration. Faced with betrayal and a full-scale campaign against him, Chief Keef made the only logical move left. He left. In 2014, after a stint in rehab in California for a probation violation, he decided not to return to Illinois. He traded the gritty, gray cityscape of Chicago for the sun-drenched suburbs of Southern California. He swapped the constant threat of street violence and police harassment for the peace and privacy of a gated community. The move precipitated the Glo Gang era. Glo was about brightness, color, shining, a stark contrast to the dark energy of his early work. He surrounded himself with a new crew, including his cousin Fredo Santana, who also relocated to LA. They built a creative sanctuary, a compound to make music, play video games, and live without constant fear. A conscious effort to build a new world, far from old pressures. The environment seeped into his music, more experimental, melodic, sometimes psychedelic. He began producing his own beats, creating sprawling, atmospheric soundscapes. This period produced projects like Almighty So, Bang 3, confusing some, hailed by others. In Chicago, he navigated threats. In LA, he became a recluse, speaking through social media and prolific output. He built a fortress in real life and online, controlling his narrative. No longer reacting to chaos, he created his own universe on his own terms. An exile by design, space to breathe, evolve, and stay alive. While Chicago was burning, Keef was buying quads and paintball guns. He chose happiness over reputation. There was the Chicago Keef, raw, dangerous, and the LA Keef, experimental, abstract, distant. The separation fueled endless debates. Comparing Chief Keef's life in Chicago to his life in Los Angeles is like comparing two different worlds. Rules, risks, rewards. Chicago was the forge. Pressure, danger, raw authenticity. Music urgent, tense, unfiltered. LA was sanctuary, space, privacy, creative freedom. He could create rather than react, explore without looking over his shoulder. Some felt he lost the street connection. Others celebrated evolution and survival. By choosing California, he chose to be a father, build wealth, live to see his influence spread, to appreciate the wisdom of leaving. Look at the tragic fates of peers who stayed. Drill's story is tethered to a long, painful list of obituaries. While Keef built a new life in California, the cycle of violence in Chicago kept claiming artists, friends, and rivals. Consider the names that became somber touchstones. L.A. Capone, murdered at 17. King Von, killed in 2020. FBG Duck, gunned down in public. Even Fredo, lost at 27. Each was embedded in the life Keef narrowly escaped. Their careers intertwined with the conflicts they rapped about. In that world, a single argument, a chance encounter, a post online could have fatal consequences. In this context, leaving looks less like retreat and more like a visionary act of self-preservation. He saw the endgame. The path in Chicago had few exits, most not good. Some called him soft for moving to a mansion. He was alive, safe, able to raise his children and continue his career, while too many became cautionary tales. In the final analysis, Chief Keef's departure was a profound strategic decision. It was not an act of cowardice or betrayal, but an act of foresight. In a game where the rules are rigged and the odds stacked, sometimes the only winning move is not to play. He recognized the street and industry in Chicago had become a trap, squeezed by jealousy and violence within, and by systematic pressure from authorities without. Staying meant a war on two fronts, a war few survive. It took strength to walk away, to prioritize life and sanity over performative loyalty. Keef chose to redefine what real meant: living, growing, building something that lasts. The move let him outlive his own myth and evolve as artist and person. He became a producer, businessman, influential but reclusive elder statesman. He secured his financial future and ensured his family would benefit. The story of Chief Keef in Chicago is a modern American epic: art, fame, violence, and impossible choices. Over a decade later, alive, wealthy, free. In context, that is a miracle. A bizarre, poignant moment. Even his digital likeness deemed too dangerous. By moving away, he transcended physical limits. His influence lived online, worldwide. He chose a quiet life of creation over a loud life of conflict, a prophetic choice.